This is the Mooncast.
You know, the funny part is that a lot of people don't understand with the lottery, you still need to pay tax. You know, you still need to pay taxes.
Yeah.
That's the thing that people don't get. It's like, hey, the government still needs their cut from that, right? So you get whatever's left, but they spend the money. It's the same with NBA contracts and soccer contracts, stuff like this. Like they'll get like, you know, $1.2 million in a year deal, and they'll think that, oh, I get all this $1.2 million. No, that's before tax. You know, so after tax, you're taking that 40% cut off. So you're spending like you have 1.2 million when really, you know, and some people don't get a second. Most people don't get a second contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and also in NFL, most of that isn't guaranteed, right? It's like I don't know what the exact guaranteed rates is for the NFL, but imagine, bro, like, you know, you get injured the first year, and you already started buying your mom a house, buying you a house, buying fancy cars, you know, and then boom, you get injured, and then the money stops because the money isn't guaranteed depending on what kind of contract you have, you know, the type of signing bonuses you have, and you didn't pay your tax, you didn't pay your taxes, you know, and then the IRS knocks on your door.
It's still better to buy real estate for yourself or for your family members, because that's still right. Still real estate. It still has its value, right? Spending on jewelry and cars and stuff, that's just silly, man. It's
especially but it's still, even if you get the real estate and you didn't pay your tax, well, the IRS is going to repossess your house, right?
True,
because you didn't pay your taxes, you know, and so you spend all that money that year, then the next year you need to file, and then you got to think, bro, a lot of that money. Look, you got to think, man. They're paying the tax accountant, they're paying the manager, right? You know, the one that's the agent, right? The one that's basically closing all the deals and doing stuff for them. So they're paying him too. They're paying a tax accountant. A lot of them have chefs, right, to cook for the food and stuff for them. A lot of them have workout people, you know, people that work out, you know, personal trainers and whatnot. So you got to think all these expenses that they're paying, plus the utility for the big house that they bought, right? The guy who cleans the pool, the maid, you know, the person's taking care of their kid if they have one. So it's a lot of expenses, man. And a lot of people don't realize it once they get out of the league, that money stops coming in, right? They keep keeping the same level of expense. And thinking that they're still coming in with the same amount of revenue that they had before, you know, and they don't. And this is how it catches up to them really quick. Because like, oh, you're still spending $5 million a month. And you know what I mean? You're not making $10-15 million a month anymore.
Especially the NFL with such a tough, you know, physical contact sport. That's what NFL stands for, not for long. You know, you're in the system for a couple of years and you're out. Like the average, I think the career of NFL players like 3 or 4 years or so. So you better, if you're making like $500 grand during these 4 years, or if that's what you have left after taxes, right? You better, man. It's actually less money than a person will make with a good paying job his whole life, right? Because it's only short term. What are they going to do afterward? You know, what have they studied? What would they have their bachelor's degree in, right? So, and that's the exact reason why this Kansas City Chiefs linebacker committed suicide a couple years ago, because his wife, they were struggling in a relationship, a lot of fights, and she told him straight up, I was expecting a more fancy lifestyle of a professional athlete, you know, NFL, you know. So I mean, what a wife to have, right? But do it in suicide, man, because you know.
It's crazy if you do the math. It's let's say the average. Look, the average earnings in the U.S. is like $4,000 a month, right? That's the average wage in the U.S. Like if you're for medium salary, and so if you're making, let's say, $4,000 US a month, times that by 50 years, that's like what, $2 million over the course of 50 years, right? So that's not, so you're making that money quick, you know, that it's someone that would take 50 years of work to do. You're doing that in a few years, and you're squandering it away with the Range Rover, you know, with a Lamborghini, you know, with the chain,
That's why not everybody understands this, but some people understand it sooner than others. But that's why many of these professional athletes should have financial advisors, right? And if you, man, if I would earn that, if I would have earned that kind of money as a professional athlete, I would have. I didn't make that much because I never played NFL, right? But I would invest that money and make sure that I can live off of that money for the rest of my life, right?
Exactly.
Come on, man. You know,
yeah.
I would want to be sure that this money is enough for the rest of my life. Living, I'll be so happy, you know, if I can live a normal life without ever having to work again, even if I just have 3, 4, 5 grand available every month, right?
Yeah, exactly. If it's coming in passively,
yeah,
you're good to go. You're good to go.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not making passive income, like that's the thing, man. I try to tell people, like, if you want to create wealth, you need to generate multiple income streams, man. Like, you can't just rely on just one income stream. If your only income stream is the NFL, you don't got no properties that's coming in with income. You don't have any dividend stocks. You don't have any crypto that's coming in with DeFi yield or anything like that. You don't have any kind of yield coming in. You don't have small business equity, you know, where you're getting paid dividends as a shareholder. You don't understand mutual funds. You don't understand the landscape of finance and financial literacy. You lose. You're going to lose eventually because you're just going to understand how to work for somebody because you're still working for somebody.
Yeah.
And you're not actually free because once you stop working for them, you don't have a free enough mind to understand how to free yourself from not having to actually work. You know, you don't have any, you didn't build any skills, but how to hit somebody. What did you learn about how to hit somebody? you know, you soft skills, maybe like leadership and stuff like that, you know, management, leadership, what is it called? Time management, stuff like that, you know, but you didn't build any hard skills, you know. What do you know about coding? What do you know about software? What do you know about marketing? What do you know about SEO?
Yeah. And that's why it blew my mind when I was in the US and I saw ex NFL players working like in a mobile shop, you know what I mean, like in a or working, you know, or as an insurance, you know, guy, you know. Like what the fuck? You played NFL.
But they don't teach you financial literacy, man. That's the thing. And so that's why I'm like, I always struggle. Like, are you actually really free? Like, you have to get up and be somewhere and work for somebody still. You know, you're working for the NFL. You got to watch what you say, watch what you do. There's a player now, like in the NBA. You know, I don't know if you know Ja Morant.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But I don't know if you saw what he did with like flashing a gun, and he had his shirt off, and he's flashing a gun, and so they suspended him, I guess.
I haven't seen it, but I read about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and it's
there's a lot of jokes about it, right?
Yeah. But they're calling him Ja Warrant, like warrant, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's quite interesting because your likeness is tied to an organization that you don't own any equity in, right?
Yeah.
So anything that you do can be held against you, right? Because it's kind of like when I was in the Army, it's the same, right? It's not if I killed somebody in a car accident, right? It's not, Van killed someone in a car accident. It's U.S. military, U.S. Army soldier, U.S. Army sergeant kills someone in a car accident, drunk driving or something like that, right? Because your likeness is tied to that organization, right? And so everything you do is a direct reflection of the bigger picture of the organization. So you're not actually free because you got to watch what you say. You got to watch how you move. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than you. So to escape that, you need to figure out a way to create a system for yourself that works for you. And so if you didn't have this situation set up where you're getting that $1 million, $2 million, $3 million every single month, you have something on the side that's making you at least 10K, 20K, 30K passively, you know?
Man, I could live off probably honestly off of 500 euros a month. I could. If I had that, just like generally speaking for everyone, if anybody has that for the rest of their life, that's great, honestly. Okay, but they could still move to, I mean, my point is move to like Vietnam or Philippines, right? You can live good with that, right? So,
exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
it's about capital optimization, right?
Yeah.
So it's just about being efficient with your capital. Why go and move somewhere in Dubai
Exactly.
when you're making 4 or 5K a month and you're spending
Yeah.
basically all of it.
That's where many guys are in Thailand, right? Because those $500 a month in Thailand, that's like how much there, 2-3 grand, probably worth. You can so much. You can buy so many things there with with $500 per month, man. You can live very good there. So
yeah. That's why I tell people it's not really about how much money you have; it's about how free you are. It's all about freedom, right? So
and
that's the reason you should be building systems, building things, is to eventually remove yourself from them.
Mm-hmm. And going where you appreciate it, not just you, but your money as well, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like why would you keep spending money at a location? Like it's like those people that just I remember some Germans, man, they would be pissed and complaining about these Asian spots. Like, oh, the Asians are so rude here. Why are you going there and spending money?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why are you funding an operation that you don't support because of their ethics or how they're behaving towards you? Why you keep spending cash on them?
Yeah.
It's the same. Why are you giving money to a government if you don't agree with their policies? Go somewhere else where you can optimize your situation and give money to a government or someone or a country that appreciates you more.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, it's very simple, man.
But
But
people are scared, they're scared to make the move, That's what I hear from most of the people I speak with, that ask me, how I got to where I'm at. I said, because I wasn't scared, I was willing to take risks. And of course, I had my downtimes, where I had to sleep in a car, but it was worth it. I'd much rather go through these times to. I mean, it takes to hit the rock bottom to understand how that feels like, to know you don't want to be anymore, and to know what you have to do not to get there anymore, right? Not to run anymore. And most people that I know in the Matrix, they're just in their comfort zones, right? They're afraid to lose their jobs. They will never risk giving up the job, going somewhere, and then because they're scared, they're scared. They're scared not to be in the Matrix anymore.
Yeah.
They're scared not to be space. They rather have the security. This is not security, man.
Yeah, that's a misconception, man. But like the thing is, everyone chooses how they want to live their life, right? It's what I had to realize, especially when I tried to convince my brothers that there's a different path, different way you can take.
Don't complain. But don't complain then, right? Why? Because these people are complaining. They have these jobs in the Matrix, they're scared to take risks, and they're still complaining.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I don't get it. Man.
Yeah. No, that's the problem with a lot of people. A lot of complainers, and no one's actually, trying to solve problems, and that's just how it goes, man. That's why there's two different types of people. There's a yin and a yang, This is what makes the world function. There's certain people that choose this path like we did, and there's more people that choose this other path. The thing is, with the path we chose, there's no path. We have to create it ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have to create. We literally are like, going through the bushes and the trees, and we're literally making the path as we're going. Where other people are like, oh, this path looks safe. It has a destination. It has an end. I know exactly where it's going to lead to. So that's the difference.
The only plan is there's no plan. Yeah, and you just that's why many of these people, they're different people. You feel it. They think differently. They critically think. They're woke. They question things, and they go by the intuition, right? So they do things that make sense, and they find ways. Right? So, and a lot of them are interested in crypto. They understand crypto. They don't think crypto is a bad thing, and that's the crazy thing about crypto, is that many say Bitcoin is used by criminals. If criminals use Bitcoin, they can be traced right away what they're using it for, right? So,
bro, cash. Criminals have been cash is not traceable.
Yeah.
Right? People never talk about that. I'm like, yo, cash has been the most, like, the biggest tool for money laundering for ages. Physical cash. You can take 100K in cash and move it around. There's ways to do it. Not advocating for that, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you shouldn't do that. You should pay your taxes. You should do everything that the rules tell you to do. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just telling people that cash has been one of the biggest tools for money laundering for ages. And also with crypto, the chain is transparent, right? So even if there's ways to still track you. Like if you don't understand like mixers and all these different types of things, there's still ways to track you through the chain, because you still have to offload from a Web2 company that's a brokerage account with your KYC information, right? So even when you're moving it to another wallet, boom, they know right there that that's your wallet. Now, what you do after that is on you, but there is ways and transparency involved in terms of value exchange is what I'm saying, there's ways to monitor it.
Yeah, there is. But even if there wasn't a way to monitor, this is freedom, right? It should be everybody's business to do what they do with their money, and nobody control them. This is crazy, man. This is really fucks me up.
The problem is the way the system is designed, because what ends up happening is the government doesn't do anything but stick their hand out and ask you for money, right? Entrepreneurs make everything run. And when entrepreneurs build the ideas that people see as valuable and they exchange it for dollars, the issue then is that the government wants their piece of the pie for no reason, right? Because, well, I don't want to say for no reason. Some of them are actually doing good things with like universal healthcare and, high education and, public goods and services, whatever that they do, right? But a lot of governments, they're just corrupt, right? They just take the money from the entrepreneurs. They do absolutely nothing with it. And so they need that money to be tracked so they can get that money and so they can, have more money, right, for themselves. A lot of governments are corrupt like that. They're not actually redistributing the wealth back into the society to improve the society, like a Norway does with their oil system, and how they give people, I don't know if you know, but they give people stocks, right? That they did redistribute it in the form of stocks back to the citizens. So this is the issue, man. And so the government wants a way in which they can control and monitor the value, because they know if they're not being paid from people's ideas that they thought of, right, to keep funding their organization, then they'll be crippled, right? And that's what they're scared of. But they don't understand that, I think that we're going to enter a space where people can start making decisions in groups and decentralized DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, and they can start collecting these huge DAOs and making group direct type of democracy decision making, on their own. This is how I see kind of like the future of how we're going in this decentralized future, right? You look at information is decentralized now.
Yeah, give the power back to the people, and you're gonna probably might have to cut this out, but this is why JFK was assassinated, right? Because a couple months before he was assassinated, he was going to give the money back to the people by binding or coupling the US dollar back to the silver standard, right?
Yeah.
And the central banks, they didn't want that, so
they got rid of him.
Done he was. He was.
Yeah, man.
But this is also why I like cities like Guatemala, where they're giving bitcoins to people. And the crazy thing is, people are not taking bitcoins out of the ATMs. They want to keep them. The people want to keep the bitcoins because they feel like it's going to be worth more one day. So people are very optimistic about Bitcoin.
It's capital. It's simple. It's capital preservation, right?
Yeah. The only thing that Bitcoin is Bitcoin, and it's always number one cryptocurrency, and it's basically Go 2.0, right? So it's a store of value. But the only thing I don't like about it, which is not a reason not to really like it, is because it doesn't really have blockchains like Ethereum and other ones have, right?
Smart contracts and stuff like that.
Smart contracts, right? Smart contracts. Yeah, you can't do none of that stuff on Bitcoin. It doesn't work, right? So, but still, it's a store of value, which is
they are building layer twos. They're building layer twos on top and using Bitcoin as the root of trust. They are doing it like there's certain stuff like liquid mint layers coming out soon. There is some stuff that's coming out and some development, but the thing is, I don't think because Bitcoin's so late to the party with the smart contracts and everything, I don't see them being able to grab the users from Ethereum and from these other smart contract protocols. Have already, Cardano. These smart contract protocols have already been in the game for 5, 6, 7 years, whatever. And so it's going to be quite hard. There could be what we could see happening in the future is what I think is Bitcoin as the collateral, and we don't actually spend the Bitcoin. We use it as collateral for a derivative, some kind of crypto fiat, if you will, because you don't actually spend the Bitcoin is like the gold that's backed to the derivative of whatever product it is. I could see a future or something like that, because at the end of the day, we're not just going to hold Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin needs to be used for something. And one of them is used as collateral for a derivative. Another thing you can use it for is lending and borrowing, right? Because people want to get yield eventually, right? They don't want to just hold something and just hold it. They want to get yield. So a good way is you could borrow or you could lend your Bitcoin, and then
like Nexo.
Yeah, exactly. But it is a little quite dangerous when the Web2 companies are controlling it. That's why I prefer smart contracts where no one controls it but the code. And now we have ChatGPT, which is nice, is because now all these coding errors that were going on, where people were getting hacked and stuff, the ChatGPT can read. You can literally just copy and paste the code, and it'll tell you if there's a deficiency, right? That's how intelligent it is already. So imagine if it's this intelligent now, and it could actually write an entire smart contract platform code, right? Already, right? So I'm telling you, man, it's moving very quickly. This is the thing, so we're going to live in this world where this is why I tell you, I don't know what people are going to value more, because people are going to be able to generate intellect and ideas that is not actually theirs. It's AI generated intellect and ideas, but a lot of people aren't going to know. That's the scary thing. So it's like, who's actually intelligent, who's actually not intelligent. I guess the only way is to put them on a show like this and talk, and speak,
like what will be the best thing for the average person to do, to be set up, in an optimal way 10 years from now? Like, what is the best thing a person can do?
I would say for sure you need to get majority of your money out of the bank. I would say you need to be moving it. If you're not going to move it into crypto because you don't understand it and whatnot, I would say move it into crypto, just because of the self-sovereignty aspect of crypto, right? How you control your value completely by yourself. So I would definitely move a percentage of my net worth. It doesn't have to be quite a lot. It can be 10, 20%, right? You definitely want to be securing real estate outside of your jurisdiction, right? You want to be securing properties as a hedge. You don't want to be just only having property only in your jurisdiction and going all in on only in your jurisdiction. And I would say to be learning skills and building skills too as well. Because if you don't have skills, because the real estate and stuff can go away, your crypto can all go to zero. But if you don't have skills to be able to showcase your value to the market, you lose. You're going to lose eventually. But as long as you have skills, like you see, I'm always building skills. Like now I'm building YouTube skills and editing and learning how to market on YouTube, SEO. These are skills that I'm building. I just named a few just off of YouTube. Then I'm a writer, so I'm always going to be able to write books for other people in case like something were to go down. So you need to have, I have crypto, obviously a huge amount of crypto knowledge and crypto skills that I can leverage, because I know so much about DeFi, so much about NFTs, and understanding the smart contract protocols. I know about bridges. I'm building a wealth of knowledge, and I won't stop. I know how to set up a node, right? So I know how to set up a node. I know how to set up a miner. So if you don't have skill sets, then what do you have to offer to the market in case everything goes to zero for you?
Yeah. And if it's just, knowledge is wisdom, right? Wisdom is power. Wisdom is power, right?
Yeah.
Knowledge is power. And if it's just simple, like what's the best thing for people to on ramp, right? To get into crypto? Probably it's just a centralized exchange, and then just watching a couple YouTube videos how to use hardware wallets, right? So, and then to take the money off the exchange and keep it in wallets, and then just huddle it from there, right? And then what I also because I just checked out this a couple of the gaming, like card games, like Gods of Chain, what's it called, Gods Unchained. Yeah, you know this one? Yeah,
Gods Unchained. Yeah,
exactly. And okay, the guys people can only make like $1 to $2 a day playing it, but if this 100x's, right, which it will, then I did the math. Then it's going to be like 10 grand a month that you would have made for playing this game a couple hours each day, right? So I wouldn't see this playing as making $1-2 a day. I would see it as where it's going to be in 2-3 years, and then even in 5-10 years. Yeah.
Exactly. Man, people don't see the exponential growth. We're about to hit the exponential growth curve of technological advancements very, very soon, like sooner than people think,
Yeah.
And when it comes, I'm telling you, bro, it's going to come very quick. It's all going to happen like boom, 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 boom with fintech. And, you have crypto, you have artificial intelligence, you have augmented reality, you have virtual reality all coming at the same time. Facebook positioned themselves properly by rebranding to Meta for a reason. There's a reason they bought Oculus, right? There's a reason they bought that VR, the VR company, right?
Mm-hmm.
They know what the future is, bro. And I've tried that VR. Oh my God, bro, it's the future. I'm telling you right now, it's the future. Like I tried it and I was in awe. Like honestly, it's you want to stay in the world. That's how scary it is. Bro, Oculus.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this company that they sell these little goggles. The goggles, little VR goggles.
You tried that one. You tried that.
Yes.
Okay? The only one that I've tried is like Net VRK. The Net one.
Yeah. No.
BlockFi.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, this thing is the future, man. Like you can move around. You can see your hands. Like you can I'm looking. I can wave in my hands.
But is the resolution and everything is it like really good? Yeah.
Yeah, the resolution is it's PlayStation 3 level resolution.
How's it compared to that movie? Ready Player One.
Yeah. Man, it's been so long since I watched the movie, but I would say it's PlayStation 3 level in terms. It's not pixelated, level, but it's not shitty. It's not trash, So I'm telling you right now, this is the future, man. Like I'm telling you, and it's kind of scary, but for me, I just get with the times, man. I just ride the wave. Wherever the wave is, I'm hopping on it. I'm gonna capitalize. The best way I can, because I'll have this. I'll build the skills. I'll build products. I'll build services, and I'll capitalize. Because while a lot of people are complaining about it, I'm thinking about business models to build around it. But that's just the game, man. And I'm telling you, man, it's gonna happen. That, bro, when I put my goggles on, that was the metaverse for me. I was like, yo, this is, man, Facebook is there, bro. They're way ahead. The way that Zuckerberg is thinking, he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. Like he bought Instagram, really, really smart move, right?
Yeah.
And now he's starting to integrate metaverse and VR. He's intelligent. Because he understands the business behind it, the stuff that you can do. Like we're gonna see different business models that have never been seen before within the next 10 years.
Yeah.
We're gonna see stuff that's never been bro. We can't even process what kind of and now we have the leverage of a compact platform that has all the human data and intellect in the world, and you can simply just type in and it'll just generate exactly what you need. So the speed in which you can gather information to make new models is going to be way faster. So people are going to be able to develop way quicker because of ChatGPT and stuff, and all these AI products that are coming out, because you don't need to surface and search all the information. You don't need to do all that. So as I told you, I feel like we're going to be able to solve cancer with AI.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure about that as well. Yeah. You already see this in movies, where they got this booth, where you can. They show a lot of the things in movies which are actually in the future, which is actually really going to happen. And I'm pretty positive about that they're going to be able to cure cancer. I mean, I'm sure they've already cured cancer, but they're just keeping it on the down low, right? It's only available to the elite, but it's going to be more open for everybody, and then they're going to start, because it's business, right? It's business. Cancer is business, right? But they're going to want other things to make money, right? So because
for sure.
It's getting more and more obvious, and they can't do it forever. They can't withhold that forever.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, man. We're going to have interesting times, and the scary thing too is also about how are they going to program the algorithm? Is the algorithm not going to be able to tell you some stuff? Is it going to? What kind of information is the AI going to give me now? That's a scary thing, because maybe you type in something and it gives me like a politically correct answer, so it's going to be quite interesting. But that's why I think Google might not go away, just because of the fact that maybe people still want that multiple source of information, that they can seep through and see what is actually fact and what's actually not, and not just listen to the chat bot telling you exactly like what the answer is.
They're going to put Google into the metaverse, right? They're just going to.
Yeah, Google could be part of the metaverse. The thing is with Google, I don't know if their business model works with ChatGPT and AI. Because remember how Google makes money, right?
Yeah.
They make money from ads, right?
Yeah.
And the only reason ads go there is because everyone's using their search engine. But if people don't really need their search engine and they're using AI, which is highly invested by Microsoft, which Microsoft's already putting and integrating Bing, like the AI technology in the back end of Bing, right?
Okay, yeah, it makes sense.
So I'm following the logic here, and I'm like, I don't know how Google's gonna compete, because the thing is, who's ever first wins. Because I told you, they've already set up everything with the computers and everything, and they already have the data being collected every second and compounding. So if you already start your AI stuff, you're already behind. The other AI tooling and the other AI program, it's already compounding its intellect. So you're already way behind. You're always going to be a step behind. So Google did try to launch something, but it didn't work. So they tried to rush something. It didn't work though. So my thing is, I don't know how this AI might be able to kill off a lot of things. It might be able to stop these tech monopolies. And people can create new. Because the thing is, the only issue, the great thing about AI is it's open source. According to Iman Mustek, they're going to make an open source version and a closed source version, but it's going to be two separate versions, right? And with that open source version, now companies like, for instance, that couldn't compete with YouTube, because how is YouTube a step ahead of everybody? Because they have the copyright software they paid like, I don't know, $50 million or whatever for, right? So they have that software to be able to detect any kind of copywriting that's going on. Then they have all the data, because guess what? Google owns YouTube. Right. So Google's not going to sell. They're not going to sell their data packages to another company that's trying to compete with YouTube, right? But with AI, now you can compete now, because now you have a big, huge collection of data sets, right? Yeah. That you can leverage and for SEO, for all these different search engine optimization, all these different types of things that you no longer need Google's data, right? And so there's going to be a whole bunch of new products and stuff built that can actually compete with these big data companies, these big tech companies. And so I think the next 10 years is going to be super fascinating to see how things go, how things play out. But I'm watching closely. I'm watching very, very closely, because this is important to see what platform I need to jump on. And also Web3 plays a role into this. Maybe there's a decentralized platform that with zero censorship that people start using, right? And then that gains steam. Because one thing Web3 is missing is that killer app that like, with the mobile phones. You remember when the mobile phones was coming out, the smartphones, right? And I remember it clearly, clear as day. I remember like seeing the phone. I was like, I'm not paying this amount of money for this phone. I was telling my dad, I was like, yo, we're not, this is dumb. Like me and my dad both thought it was dumb, because we couldn't think ahead that you could build applications on top of it. Yeah. So the first killer app that I remember was the flashlight. Sounds very simple, right? but people was like, oh, you can flashlight on your phone, and you know what I mean? And then Angry Birds came out, right? I remember it clear as day. And then at first it was like, oh, this is cool. And I was looking at my friend playing it. Then other rich kids who could afford the iPhone back then, they started playing it with each other, and you could communicate one another. Then the snowball effect happened. Skype, Twitter came out, Instagram came out. All these different apps start coming like crazy, right? So this is the thing that I see is the same kind of effect is going to happen in Web3, where they just need that one killer app that onboards millions and millions and millions of users, right? Once they get that one app, it's over. It's over. That's the app that's gonna transcend things, and it's gonna be a snowball effect. People are gonna piggyback off of it, slightly copy a little bit of the business model, do a different service or product, and it's gonna cause a snowball effect, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's what Web3 is missing right now, is that ability to onboard millions and millions of users off of one decentralized app, because it's really just a decentralized SaaS, right? At the end of the day, these companies or these crypto projects, right? They're SaaS, software as a service. They're just decentralized, right? And that's essentially what they are. And but the whole thing is quite fascinating. I'm just saying like that's the only thing that's missing is just they need that one killer app, and it's going to exponentially scale everything. It's going to be like the beginning of the exponential, and we haven't had it yet. Uniswap tried to do it with the DEX, and but there's not that app that it literally everyone has to have it, like a flashlight, or like everyone was on Angry Birds. Yeah.
I was wondering which are you even near it, close it, or is there anything that's there now, close, and maybe might develop into it?
I would say the one vertical in crypto that I see, or two areas in crypto that I see that could potentially do it, is NFTs and gaming. The reason NFTs is what I say is because the digital ownership aspect of NFTs, it now allows creators to not be beholden to YouTube or to whatever to monetize, right? You can do different types of things with NFTs. Like you could be like, hey, you have this NFT, and that becomes the membership. You have to show proof of the NFT. You can build a book, and instead of going through Amazon, I'm going to take 30%, right? You could be like, hey, I'm issuing it out as an NFT, and it completely cuts out the middleman completely, right? And you can do different types of models with NFTs. You can there's so many different things you can do with NFTs, man. Like for instance, music, right? What's the issue with music right now? Spotify, they suck at paying the artist. They barely pay the artist, right? So imagine you could there's already musical artists that are doing this, like Tory Lanez and stuff, where they're issuing out their mixtape exclusively as an NFT, And so that way you cut out the middleman completely. They get the money within seconds. As it gets minted, you buy with your crypto, and you automatically get the music, right? That's inside the NFT. And anytime that thing moves, you can already put in the smart contract a royalty. Yeah. So you no longer need to, because there's an issue too. Because imagine you have a digital book, it's a PDF, someone downloads it. What's to stop them from reselling it to some third party platform that's like a poor man's eBay or something, like in Africa or somewhere, and then you can't keep track of it. So every time that thing moves, that's the beautiful thing about NFTs. You can input the smart contract, the royalties, everything inside it. So you're ensuring that you're getting paid without even having to track anything, right?
Yeah.
So it's copywriting, right? That's another issue, right? Well, the copywriting. So imagine anytime that someone's playing your music in like a form of art, whether that's a movie or whatever, automatically with the smart contract, you're getting your royalties because it's triggering it through the smart contract. Yeah. And so this is why I think NFTs could be the gateway for people to, outside of the JPEG stuff, the cornball Bored Ape Yacht Cup stuff. Like, I don't even know what that it's. But I'm talking about the real actual utility of NFTs and what they can be leveraged for. You think about real estate. Imagine no middleman. You just go online and you buy NFT, and now you own the property based off of the fact that you bought the NFT, right? We can get to a point like that where we don't need to pay all these different costs, like these closing costs and the commission for the realtor and all these different appraiser and no, just go online, buy the NFT, and now I own the property, right? We can get to a point where we can cut out middlemen, and this is where I think NFTs is can be very, very useful. And then also with gaming, right? Because gaming, as you know, is $1 billion industry. So
it's the biggest, isn't it? I think porn is the second biggest, but I think
it's 1 and 2, 1A, 1B, whichever one.
And that's why I just the segment, the sector I decided to focus on in crypto is this gaming. Not because I love gaming. I actually stopped gaming years ago because it just if you, what do people gain when they play, right? They do it because dopamine, because they build things, they get awarded, right? Why not do that in real life?
Reality too.
Why not reality? Escape reality. But all the rich people, they do that in real life. So just do it in fucking real life. It's way fucking better. So I think it's a little bit of a weak of excuse to escape. I mean, there are games that are really fucking fun. I mean, there's no doubt. But this is gonna distract you from do it once you've already built, when you're already set, right? Don't waste time. Take this time. You know what? I don't have to tell you this. You know everything about that. Spend your time on building a future, not wasting it on games. Of course, entertainment is needed as downtime to chill, just to stress out. I mean, just to relieve stress, but don't spend too much time on it. But anyway, this is why I just because I just understand the whole metaverse and the gaming thing, and I know how people are addicted to it. Also these casino, people are addicted to gambling, and then poker and so on. And it just makes sense that all these fan tokens, for example, people are going to be able to support their artists, by just buying their fan tokens, and that's right. and you can get cheaper access to or free access to VIP or concert tickets and so on, or even just your soccer club, right? You can get access to the VIP club, or just easier get tickets, or it's just awesome how you can these NFTs and fan tokens and so on. It's just the whole way it's set up. It's absolutely the future, and that's why I think the next biggest move, because it never really came, is going to be the fan tokens and like the audio, right? The for the artists, right? Supporting the there's one app. It's called Audius. You heard of it? Audius?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what I mean. Maybe you can explain it better than you can. Of course, you can explain it better than I can if you want to. But this is just definitely, man. That's why I think the next biggest pump is going to come in crypto once everything starts going up again.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's quite. Yeah. It's quite. Yeah. With gaming, for sure, man. This is a very obvious one because we've seen the model work already with Fortnite, right? We've already seen it. The model worked. They had a tokenization model in Fortnite, and people were buying the skins, right? They're paying real dollars for coins in the game to buy skins, to buy not even like even I think it was some items and stuff, but they were buying a lot of skins, right? Just to look cool, like I have this character, or I have this blue hat, and you have this red hat, and stuff like that. So people who think that people don't find these things valuable are crazy, because Fortnite built millions of dollar business off of free to play, and they were making money just off the skins, right? And they had this tokenization model. The only difference is the thing that's cool about NFTs is you can transfer the NFTs, right?
Yeah.
And then you're going to initiate these things called, like, there's going to be nuances to NFTs, right? As it develops with like smart NFTs, where you can change the metadata. So for instance, if you're playing a Pokemon game and your NFT needs to evolve, you could change the metadata, right? You could set up the smart contract in a way where it's changing the NFT and the NFT is evolving, right? With the game or with whatever type of thing. Maybe it evolves with your membership group, your loyalty NFT or whatever, right? You can evolve and change the metadata. So smart NFTs are also implementation that's going to be had. And there's so many different things that you can do. But with games, we've already seen it work. We've seen Fortnite have a concert, a Travis Scott concert, where millions of people showed up to a concert in a video game, right? And people see that there's not value in it. And I'm like, dude, like, you don't understand the youth. You got to understand the youth, man. This is why I talk to the youth so much, because I understand where things are going, because I understand the youth. If you're not doing market research and really understanding Gen Z and what they like, things quick, fast, easy, high level of entertainment, digital entertainment, right? Netflix, movie. They're not going to movies. Like, this whole idea, this movie model, that shit's gonna be dead soon. Like I don't see it lasting another 50, 100 years. I think the going to an actual movie, like actual theater to watch a movie, I don't believe in this model because of how people are digesting content now. And also people want more short form content too as well. That's why TikTok is so big. So you need to understand the wave, and you need to prepare, because that's how you can monetize as a person, right? If you don't understand the wave of new generations that's coming into the workforce and what they like, why do you think like I'm back on the internet? Because I understand the influencer has more power than big media, right? So people, it's the only reason I'm back on the internet, because I realized, I need to compound my my cachet, right, over the course of time. Because the thing is with putting out content regularly, it's a compounding effect, right? It starts off slow. The more people find you, the more, and then it becomes a snowball effect. And there's going to be more and more people on the internet. There's 4.5 billion people now. By 2030, projected 5.5 billion. right?
Yeah.
By 2050, it should be almost damn near everybody on the internet, right? Because it's building more and more infrastructure. You have companies like WMT who's partnered with Starlink. They're building out infrastructure in Africa right now to get them Wi-Fi, right? And it's not these is not proof. This is not something that's a pipe dream. They've already shown proof of concept, and they're already selling data packages right now, right? So I'm understanding that there's going to be more and more people on the internet. Then if you didn't start building your content and your platform, your ability to be able to push out content, if you didn't start doing that now, by the time 2030 hits, you're going to be too late, because you're going to lose the compounding effect of being able to get more and more people find your content. You become more and more credible over time, and people trust influencers more. Why do you think people buy? Oh, Logan Paul's dropping an NFT, so I'm going to buy it because it's Logan Paul.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not buying it because the cachet of the influencer, right? So influencer, we're at the stage where the influencer is going to have more leverage than big media. And I know this for a fact because I talk to Gen Z. I do my market research, right? Mm-hmm. They want to buy from people that they trust, that people that put out content. The first thing that they do now for me, for instance, my business, is they go to my content, right? Even though my platforms and stuff is small, as soon as they enter my website, they look, maybe read a blog, whatever, they go immediately try to see if I have content on YouTube or on Instagram. They immediately look for content, right? They want to know who you are. They want to feel like they know you, right? And this is the area that we're entering. So I'm not going to miss this wave of putting out content, even though I don't like, me and how I am in social media. I haven't had it for so long, but I understand the wave is content now, right? You need to establish yourself, right? Like me and you are doing now. Even though we're helping people, we're still establishing authority at the same time on the internet. Because what gives us authority is us putting our face on the internet, which 99% of people aren't willing to do, right? They want to hide in the shadows, right? And so us putting our face out there establishes authority automatically, right? So when people click, like, oh, I recognize this face. This face has been putting out content for 3 years now, and I have a discography of content that I can showcase. Same thing with now. Like sometimes when I do business deals, the first thing I want to do is they want to see my portfolio.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, man. This is the thing. So I started realizing and researching, and after talking to a lot of people, I realized content is the wave, man. Content is going to be like the new big thing, new big commodity, So yeah.
Yeah, I've seen like some of the YouTubers that I follow now. These were just guys like 5-6 years ago. They were nobodies, I didn't pay attention to them. Now I pay more attention to them because they've been on for 5-6 years, So
exactly.
Yeah. So it's definitely good to be out there, to get your face seen and known, and just have that right. That 5 years of six or multiple years of being on YouTube already,
Exactly. Because what I realize is a huge opportunity, man. When I did a lot of research on it, it makes absolute sense to be putting out content regularly, man, and also be diversifying. That's why I push it on Spotify and on YouTube, because we don't know, again, with this AI and everything, what the next competitor is going to be, and maybe these platforms don't last as long as we think they do, right?
Yeah.
Because every business eventually comes to an end, right?
Yeah.
You see, Blockbuster was taken over by Netflix, and now look at Netflix now. They're struggling. Why are they struggling? Because guess what? Disney was like, oh, you're making how much money when they're posting their quarterly reports, right? And you're looking at how much money they're making, right? Their balance sheet and everything. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, you can't post our Marvel content anymore. We own that. We own Star Wars, right? We own, Disney as a whole. We own ESPN, right? So we're gonna make our own platform, and it's gonna have more content than what you can offer. You're just offering movies and TV shows, but we're diversified, right? Because we own ESPN, we own Star Wars, we own Marvel, we own all the Disney products, Lion King, all these different types, Mermaid, all these different types of things. So you can't compete with us, and we'll charge maybe just slightly higher than what you're charging. Compete, right? And so this is why Netflix, I feel like, is gonna be the new Blockbuster, right?
Netflix is going to be the new Blockbuster?
Yeah, they're going to be, in terms of failing.
Okay. Yeah. I got it. Yeah.
They're going to fail.
I feel it too. I clearly feel Netflix is kind of going more downward. It's
why be on Netflix? Just tell me, bro. Even YouTube YouTube has more educational content, and plus they have YouTube Premium with shows and stuff like that. So YouTube's competing indirectly with Netflix. So it's like, why be on, bro? There's not that much good Netflix originals anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's why they have Apple TV, right? Apple TV's. Then you got, what was it? Amazon TV as well, I think.
Or Amazon Prime. Amazon's dropping their content too. So there's a lot of competitors, but it's hard to compete with Disney because Disney owns the rights for so much stuff.
Yeah.
You know, bro, sports, that's $1 billion industry, right? ESPN, think about it. Just think about it. How you just off ESPN alone, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like it's very hard to compete with Disney. So I'm looking at the landscape of things. I don't think Netflix is gonna last. I think they're gonna be like the new the blockbuster, you know? Same thing's gonna happen to them because and you already see it. They're losing. You see that they're trying to take away now the ability. Remember, you used to be able to share the account.
Yeah.
Why are they taking that away? Because they're losing market share. Exactly, losing revenue, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So it absolutely makes sense, man. So they're trying to get money from and I mean, it was nice that they were doing that, but I always was wondering why they're doing this, you know, because they're losing a lot of money.
Because they grab you grab all the people. Once you have the users, it's gonna be they get comfortable, right? It's psychology. And once users get comfortable, then then you're like, oh, by the way, next month we're charging $1 or $5 or $10.
Yeah, so they're trying to get as many people hooked as possible. So like because they were giving away a free product to many people, and then people it was marketing, it was advertising marketing, and now people know about it, and they're going to probably continue, you know.
Exactly, so, that's the game. The game is give people something free, and until they're hooked, and once they're hooked, they're not going to switch, right? Because people get comfortable. That's the reason people, I guarantee you, when Bing comes out with the API plugin for ChatGPT, people aren't going to switch to Bing. They're going to stay on Google because people get comfortable, you know. But someone like me who's forward thinking, I'm going to go on Bing, you know, and go check it out. Use the AI plugin, right? But most people are they're just going to stay on Google.
And that's what I feel what Google has going for them, because Google is so popular that they're going to be able to do their thing in the metaverse, you know, for a while. Because people are still going to use Google, or they're just going to say, give me Google, and then they're just going to, you know what I mean? Just Google whatever they want until they learn that the other AIs are just way faster, way better, you know, for content, for information. So
exactly. But you know what's faster isn't always, or better isn't always what wins, like necessarily, or maybe it has its own space. If you look at, for instance, Microsoft, they use a different coding and stuff compared to Linux. Linux is used with Apple, right? Mm-hmm. And people know Apple and Linux it's better, right? Mm-hmm. But there's still a lot of people that prefer Microsoft because guess what? The comfortability. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So there's still space for both of them, but I'm just saying that like it's not like necessarily one wins, one loses, and stuff like that. But
But you also have to admit that Netflix is really easy to use. You know, the interface is just
it's sleek, it's clean, man.
Yeah, it's clean. And so so that's what they got speaking for them. That's what they got going for them right now. Definitely. Yeah. But they're trying really hard to bring out, you know, new things all the time and to keep people, you know, entertained. You can clearly feel that. It's not like it used to be.
Oh yeah, of course, man. Because they need to keep you engaged in the platform so you can keep paying the monthly. Because you're not gonna pay the monthly if there's not cool stuff on there that you want to watch, right? Yeah. Why keep paying the monthly? You know, why keep? But that's the game now. The game is monthly reoccurring revenue, right? Mm-hmm. MRR, right? That's the best business model to have. I feel like it's the subscription-based model. This is why with YouTube, it's the same thing, right? So you build a following, and then it gets to a point where then you join a Patreon, and then you have the monthly reoccurring revenue, right? Where that you get exclusive stuff, right? Where that's not mentioned in the actual. This is the model now, right? So if you're not having a sort of a business model, you're not implementing something like that where you have this monthly reoccurring revenue. That's where I think everything's going to go to. It's the same with ChatGPT. They're going to have that too. They're going to have the ChatGPT Pro, right? And get that monthly reoccurring revenue. Because that's what you eat off of for the remainder of your business life cycle, right? Whether that's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years. Disney's been around for what? Over 100 years, right? Something like that. Yeah. They've been around for a long time, man. And they're not going to lose. I just don't see how Disney loses because they just keep recycling the same content that people keep digesting. You know, people are always going to like Star Wars. They're always going to like Marvel. They're always going to like ESPN. They're always going to like sports. How can Disney lose? They're always going to like Lion King. You know, so yeah, man, it's quite crazy, man. But yeah, yo, man. So I think this has been really, really good. I think really, really valuable. But I think we can close it off here, man. So guys, again, I hope you guys found some value out of this, man, and you enjoyed it, man. Barry, you have any closing thoughts?
Nope.
No. All right, guys. Yeah, just stay tuned for the next one, man, and peace.